Imagination is spiritual. Vision is spiritual. Intention is spiritual. And when aligned with purpose, it becomes creation. The same creative intelligence that breathed through Da Vinci, Edison, and Berners-Lee is the same intelligence breathing through you right now. Imagination is the voice of daring. That's what Henry Miller said. And he was right. Because if there's anything divine within the divine, it's this: the courage to imagine what has never existed and bring it into being. Every breakthrough humanity has ever experienced began with imagination. Not technology, not resources, not permission. Imagination. Someone saw what others couldn't. Someone dared to believe that the unseen was more true than the visible. History is full of minds who refused to stay inside the lines of their era. They weren't just inventors. They were expanders of consciousness. And whether they knew it or not, they were co-creating with the source that breathes through you and me today. Let me show you what I mean. In the 15th century, long before engines, aerodynamics, or even the concept of human flight, Leonardo da Vinci put ink to paper and drew a machine he believed could lift a person into the air, a winged craft, an ornithopter that moved like a bird. He never built it. He didn't need to. His imagination was the seed. His sketches were a declaration. This is possible. And centuries later, humanity proved him right. Da Vinci's imagination didn't stay in a notebook. It entered the collective consciousness. It changed what the human mind believed was possible. That's the power of a single imagination aligned with intention. You see, if you can imagine it, you can do it. If you can imagine it, you can do it. It only requires the courage to use your imagination. Now let's jump to 1877. Thomas Edison imagines something impossible in his day, a machine that could capture sound and play it back. People thought it was absurd. How do you trap a vibration? How do you replay a moment? Edison didn't care. His intention was clear. His curiosity was stronger than the voices telling him to stay realistic. So he created the phonograph, a cylinder, a needle, vibrations carved into grooves. It was primitive and brilliant and disruptive. And it reshaped the entire world: art, entertainment, communication, and culture. Once again, one imagination shifted the direction of human history. Just think of what that one idea of imagination has done to change our world today. Now let's jump to 1989. A British computer scientist named Tim Berners-Lee is frustrated. Information is scattered everywhere, isolated, trapped in little silos. He imagines a world where knowledge is linked, where any person, anywhere, could reach into a global field of information instantly. Hyperlinks, URLs, browsers, servers. These things didn't exist. He invented them. He didn't just build a tool. He birthed the World Wide Web, which you're using at this very moment to watch this show. The digital nervous system of the entire planet came alive. The modern world, your phone, your career, your relationships, your spiritual content, your community exist because one man imagined connection before connection existed. He had the courage to imagine what could be if we were willing to bring these things together. Tim Berners-Lee imagined the impossible, and imagining the impossible became the possible, and the possible changed the world. These stories aren't about history. They're about you. They reveal something fundamental about the nature of reality. Imagination is spiritual. Vision is spiritual. Intention is spiritual. And when aligned with purpose, it becomes creation. The same creative intelligence that breathed through Da Vinci, Edison, and Berners-Lee is the same intelligence breathing through you right now. You are not a passive observer in this life. You are a co-creator, which is what we've talked about in other videos. The Apostle Paul talked about that in 1 Corinthians. We are co-laborers, if you will, with Christ, a participator in the unfolding of your reality. The Christ spark, the spirit intelligence, the creative field, it is all within you, and it is you because you are one with the divine life. It works through you, and it responds to the clarity of your intention. This is why your inner life matters more than your outer conditions. Your vision shapes your reality long before your circumstances catch up to it. Now, let me separate two things people always confuse. The first is intention and purpose. They sound similar, but they are not. Intention is immediate. It's the conscious decision you make in the moment. I choose this. I move this direction. I bring this forward. It's the energy you place into the present. Purpose is deeper. Purpose is the why behind your existence. It stretches beyond goals, beyond projects, beyond your to-do list. Purpose is the meaning that frames your entire life path. It's not about this moment. It's about the story arc of your soul. So how do they work together? Intention is the brushstroke. Purpose is the canvas. Intention is your daily choice. Purpose is your lifelong direction. You need both. Intention without purpose becomes scattered. Purpose without intention becomes dormant. The most powerful humans, the aligned ones, the grounded ones, the awakened ones, operate with purposeful intention. They live in the moment, as we've talked about, living in the present moment. But they live in the moment with a North Star. In other words, they have direction. They have a purpose. They know where they're going. So here's an example. Imagine you decide to build a home. Your intention is straightforward. You want more space, a better layout, a place that actually fits who you are today. But your purpose? That's bigger. That's about creating a sanctuary for your loved ones, a place where peace can breathe, a place where your soul feels held and your spirit can expand, a legacy your family will remember. The intention builds the home. The purpose makes the home sacred. Okay? This is true in every part of your life, your relationships, your calling, your spiritual path, your work, your healing, your awakening. When you live in the moment with purposeful intention, your imagination becomes a force of creation. Your life stops being reactive and starts becoming intentional, aligned, directed, full of meaning. You stop drifting and you start creating. You know, I think Jesus was the example to us of this type of a life. Jesus was always intentional. He was always focused on his purpose. He was always listening in spirit, and life came to him. He didn't go chasing life. He didn't have to. He lived an intuitive spiritual life with great intention and great purpose. And he was able to use his imagination. He could see things as though they were, even though physically they were not. He was able to live a life that thrived and not just survived. This is what you were built for. You were built to thrive, not just survive. When you live in the moment with purposeful intention, your imagination becomes a force of creation. Your life stops being reactive and starts becoming intentional, aligned, directed, full of meaning. You stop drifting and you start creating. You were designed to be a co-creator in every way, shape, and form, a co-builder, if you will, a co-laborer with God in Christ. Not to just sit around and just let life come, but rather to actually be focused in the moment, fully involved. And in so doing, begin to see yourself flowing with life, flowing with the river of life, if you will, the river of the Spirit, in that powerful, powerful river, and seeing not only life come to you, but you as a full participant in that life. This is what it means to thrive and not just survive. If this resonates, if something inside you is saying, yes, this is the way forward, then stay connected with us. Because this is the work we're doing together every week. This is the type of thing we're going to be talking about. You can get my book, Thrive, Not Just Survive, How to Live From Within. And it's a guidebook, if you will, to what we're talking about in this show. Every week we'll be drawing things from that book, material, and laying it out so that you can begin to learn to go within, to live from within, and to thrive as the individual you already are. You already have everything you need, and you can learn to thrive in this life that you're one with in the divine. Learn how to awaken your inner vision, sharpening your intention, and aligning you with the purpose your soul has carried into this lifetime. So here's what I want you to do. Subscribe to this channel if you're on YouTube. not because I need numbers, but so we can be connected for alignment, for continued growth. Share this video with someone who needs their imagination reawakened. And finally, take one intention today and make it purposeful, okay? Choose something, even something small, and ground it in meaning. Watch what shifts. Make that your focal point, okay? Begin to come within to your spirit. Begin to use your imagination. See what it is you want it to be, what you want to see occur. Begin to do so with intention, purpose, meaning. This is how creation begins. This is how alignment begins. This is how you begin to live from within.